Hey guys, how you doing? As you can see here, this is my grinder. It's not finished yet, and unfortunately this particular grinder is never going to be finished because I call myself a bit of a perfectionist in certain aspects. I'm not happy with how this turned out. There's a lot of things on there that I would change. It's mostly because I took this grinder and I took concepts from other people's things, but I kind of created my own. And with doing that, obviously there's some mistakes and design flaws, and also aesthetics as well. It doesn't really look like I wanted it to, so I've decided that I would still continue to finish the belt grinder, but I would replace the main frame of it and make some modifications to the design, which I have already started. As you can see here, this is some steel plate, and I've taken a lot of my ideas off the Wilmot grinders. You can Google them right now, it's pretty good stuff. I will be designing it with two tool arms. Here I got a picture there. It's just a little quick draw up. I'm pretty experienced with making these kind of things, so I don't need to draw up all elaborate plans because most of it's going to be figuring out anyway, because I don't have all my materials yet, so I can't figure it out. So I need to be able to make changes on the fly. That's kind of what I'm going for. This here, that's been removed. I'm not going to cut that hole there. I'm just going to put the bearings back here, because on this one it was designed to be in the middle, but I've changed it. So let's get on to cutting some steel and see how it goes. Alright, so what I'm about to cut here, you probably can't see the line from the exposure, is the uprights to support the tracking arm. I'm going to cut two of these pieces and they are 40 centimeters long. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, which is quite convenient to build my belt grinder, is I've got to square off all these edges to kind of clean it up and make it look real nice and machined, which is one thing that I didn't have before I had a belt grinder. So I'm using the grinder to make a grinder, so let's get on with it. Alright, so I've got the tracking arm uprights all in place right now, just to give you a better idea of what it's going to look like. As you can see, I did face off all of that just to make it look all nice, and I'll probably end up painting it anyway, but it was fun while it lasted. As you can see, that those uprights mirror the ones just here. So now I've just got to figure out a tracking system that's a little bit more neat than the one previously. And I still haven't. I'm going to use aluminium for these. I'm going to make them 25mm thick spacers, and I'll just chuck an N5 bolt through, and that should be enough to hold it. I'm going to step down the bolt size for everything holding it up, except for any stress points, just to make it a little bit easier to work with. Hey guys, as you can see, I've been toying around with where I want all my wheel placements to be with the grinder. I'm going to use the same kind of design for the tension tracking wheel and the contact flat platen. I'm just going to recycle those because they're all fine. It's just the biggest question of where to put the drive wheel. As you can see, I wanted to put it at the back, but there's really not enough space for this size belt. If I was using a 2x72, it wouldn't be a problem. This is roughly a 2x60, which is 1.5 meters. And I will be using this size belt quite commonly, so I want my grinder to be able to use that, you know. So, and another option I have is to move this tool arm in further, but I really don't want to do that. I want to have a bit of it sticking out just so I can, because this grinder needs to be an improvement over the old one. So one idea is to just chop 5 centimeters off the back of them, and then just move the whole thing and make the whole ground a little bit shorter, and then I'd be able to probably get it in, get the belt size to fit, so see how it goes. Hey guys, how you doing? As you can see, I've been a bit busy. I've just finished making the tracking mechanism here. I've decided to make it all look nice and machined, just because I'm trying not to use any welding in this project, so that way I can pull it apart and clean it if need be, which is one flaw of the previous one. So I've got 2 bolts holding it in there. As you might be able to see, there's 2 little square blocks with 2 holes in it there. One hole's obviously going across from one side to the other, and then there's 2 holes there which will mount it to the plate, and obviously goes around at the front there. All of this is held together with bolts. It's one bolt going all the way through there, and it's tapped into there, really put down tight, and it's not going to go anywhere sideways because I've got this bolt here going all the way through, which keeps it square, so you don't have to worry about that. And then I just can't lift that up, it doesn't want to. Inside there you can see there's another hole. That hole there is tapped, that's where the tracking screw will go through. It's on the other side too. The camera is on the other side, I didn't realise. Just using that there as a spacer because I've got one here because it actually gets wider on account of these, so it becomes 35 mil wide, so I've got to work out with that space. As you can see there, it's on a bit of an angle, so I've got to square that up, which is what I'm going to do now.